Insta fame is insta fame.
Fame in new artists is definitely the devil. It just happens.
All that positive energy can turn into negative energy.
Niggas is having mental breakdowns every day, V.
Because they're not already straight in their head.
The public is going to want to connect with you.
They might not even fucking like you.
Well, this is crazy. It just happened fast.
That's the world we're living in. You know, I witnessed an artist that I know that put out a record, let's just say, in the month of February. And by November of that year, that person was making $30,000 or $40,000 a show. And then one day that person, when the record did really well, had to visit a radio station. And the radio station gave this person 3 or 4 pages of drops to do. You know, Christmas, Thanksgiving is coming up. Hi, this is so-and-so on Thanksgiving on KX, whatever the station call numbers and letters are. They did the thing. The record company came. The record company said, hey, listen, we don't have enough money in the budget to send you to every radio station, but here's what we got to do. Now we're going to give you a paper this thick with drops from Kentucky, Nebraska, Iowa, St. Louis, Little Rock, places that's playing your record. That artist looked at that person like they was crazy. I'm not doing that. But this is what it takes for your record to play in these stations. We got to do this. Everybody's done it. Jay-Z has done it, Puff has done it, you know, Jermaine, everybody's done it. So you ain't trying to do that. That's what it takes to make it, but you ain't trying to do it. But then there's another artist be like, all right, cool, let me get a Red Bull, roll me up something, and let's knock this shit out. Who you want to rock with? I want to rock with that guy. Not this newfangled dude that, listen, man, either you play my record or you don't.
What happened to that guy who wouldn't do it?
I didn't mention his name. So that means no success.
The dream comes true, and it happens quick. You're doing shows, you're getting money, you're famous. It's a big first record or a big second record. You're big. And that person didn't get to experience gradual progression to fame. It just happened. I think that those people have a hard time maintaining how they deal with the fame.
Insta fame is insta fame. It's about what you're willing to do. I mean, some of these kids expect insta fame with their records. They want insta fame. I mean, there's actually chicks who purposely go do sex tapes for the fame because that's the world we're living in. Somebody who gets insta fame, they can't handle it because it's insta fame. You understand my point? It's like there are people who got groomed properly who fucked up. They got the label behind them, good management, good team, and they still fucking up.
I mean, niggas is having mental breakdowns every day, V. You can see what's going on. You can see artists that's not hanging in there. The fame is beating them. They can't take it. Whether it's drugs, getting in crazy relationships. You know, the fame could really turn somebody crazy.
I got really popular in like the mid-'80s. And now I had album covers and they start recognizing me. The fame is a drug. You know, just the feeling that you get from being popular is addictive. You come on stage and they go, we love you. You walk in the room and everybody go, oh, that's him. That right there is the addiction. You needed them to fucking say that. Don't sit in the mirror all day going, they love me. Because honestly, they might not love you. They might just love what you do. If they got to know you, they might not even fucking like you.
I've seen a lot of rappers get famous really fast, and like all that positive energy can turn into negative energy. Definitely seen a lot of people go from being like a totally nice, normal, rational person to the most egotistical, self-centered dickhead you've ever met in your life, and then 6 months later, they're like back to just, you know, being the thirstiest motherfucker on earth.
A lot of young artists get messed up because they're not already straight in their head of like who they are. So when you become artists, you become successful, you start to make a lot of money, you become that person of who you think you're supposed to be. And so when you realize like, oh my God, that person isn't me, then you fucked up. So now you just confused, but you confused yourself.
Fame in new artists is definitely the devil. A lot of artists I've seen change, and it takes a certain type of person to be able to tell them they changed because their right-hand man or their best friend might not tell them that.
You start to hear people say shit like when the popularity declines, they walk into a room with people and they don't get recognized or they don't get treated special, and they say, do you know who I am? It's like, how dare you fucking let me stand here and all you people don't acknowledge me because you know who the fuck I am. And the worst thing in the world is to watch a person who feels like they should be a certain level of famous, to watch them solicit themselves to a room full of people. I'm so-and-so, I did such and such. And everybody goes, I don't know. Like whatever you did is famous is forgotten. That's like, that hurts.
Where I'm at right now is just like, I've never cared about this shit. I always been famous in my hood, I always been famous in my community, I always been famous in my high school, I'm famous in this studio, I'm famous in Atlanta, everywhere I go I'm famous. The right people pay attention to me. That's all that matters, not the wrong people. So I'm too busy to even give a fuck who cares or pays attention.
You as an artist and as a person have to recognize that you chose a profession that's part of entertainment. And if you continue to choose to be in front of cameras, then you are opening up and accessing yourself to fame and to be known to the public, and the public is going to want to connect with you. My approach is like, communicate with people. If you're saying, you know what, I'm on this phone conversation, I'll take this picture after I finish. That's respectful. Sometimes people can forget to give you respect, but at the same token, as a person that is in the public eye, you gotta remember to give people respect too.
We don't act bougie or nothing and be like, nah, bro. We take pictures with everybody. Yeah, we just be like, okay. We know how to move though. Like we know how to go to the mall, like with hoodies and stuff. The adjustment was just like reacting to everybody. We were just like, whoa, this is crazy. It just happened fast, and we love it.
I've had people here in Atlanta, like people listen to my music a lot. Like I've been in the grocery store literally just minding my business, and a girl literally dropped her bags and was like, holy shit, I listen to your music every day. It kind of blows you away, but just that times 1,000 people, like that if I had to do that with everybody that I ran across, like I experienced that just going around with Tip. He can't go nowhere without people bothering him. He's tried to keep a level of normalcy where, as somebody like Kanye, he really can't go anywhere. Like, I can definitely see how that can drive somebody crazy.
If you do get famous, my advice would be, get caught more up in the business of what makes you famous. Stick to that instead of trying to be famous.
Social media is like crack right now.
If you don't have a lifestyle that go with that music, nobody will hear it.
So social media is really important.
Because there's no defeating the internet. There's no defeating Twitter. You can't beat Instagram.
It can get ugly real fast.
Older artists, we have this conversation, and it goes like, I'm so glad social media wasn't out when I was young. Like, fuck. Like, damn. I was so young and wild that honestly, I would have never had this career had social media been out when I was young. I did some stupid shit that I'm like, fuck. Word of mouth go, you heard that stupid ass shit Too Short did? And the shit just kind of fizz out. No, now you do stupid shit, and the word of mouth is social media. And that shit is like, don't fuck around and go viral, because that shit lasts forever.
Man, social media is everything. Like, it's even crazy right now. It's like crack right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even want to get so caught up into the social media thing, but if you want to be able to make some good money right now and be able to be on top of what's new and what's trending and stuff like that, you got to be in tune with the internet. The dislike about it for me is that I'm just such a real bitch, you know? I'm not really for the hype, but I have to be. My team will tell me, like, you gotta post videos more, interact with your fans, take pictures, like, go out to these events and stuff like that. I initially just like to make music, but now I have to do both. And nowadays, it's almost more important for you to have the image than it is for the music, so it's crazy out here.
It's like you have to be an actor and an artist now. Like, you're not just an artist no more. Like, you gotta be an actor too now. You gotta get on your social media every day. That's your TV show. And you gotta sell yourself every day on your TV show. You gotta make your TV show interesting. Because if it ain't, like the rest of the TV show, that kind of fades out. I signed up to do music, man. But with the way the culture shifted into social media, you gotta actually give people who you are. Like, they gotta know who you are. I gotta post my life. I'm gonna post this, I'm gonna post that. People ain't buying music. They don't wanna buy your music. They only wanna buy your friendship. They wanna feel like they know you. They wanna feel like they hang with you. So every day, you gotta get up and you gotta hang with them. My Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, my Snapchat, and you gonna go to it and you gonna learn who London J is. Looking at all these pictures and videos. Oh, he signed to T.I. This is how I allow you to hang with me. So if I'm not present on social media, I'm not present in music. You could drop this album, it could be the dopest shit on the planet. If you don't have a lifestyle that go with that music, nobody will hear it.
I try to post, you know, on Instagram or Snapchat or anything social media because that's where your fans feel like they're connected with you the most. I try to let people know that I'm active, you know, because I think that's very important too, your fan base. I actually get a lot of DMs, you know, saying, can I be your friend or something? You look real cool, like you seem like a real cool person. And I appreciate that, but I think it's just weird to ask, you know, can you be a friend? I would let you in on my life, you know. That's more than a friend. You know, that's family. I'm letting you in on my personal life. You're family.
When I used to put music up or I'll see somebody comment on something that I didn't like, I used to argue with people and I used to be like, you're stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's just, I used to get so mad. You know, it turned ugly, you know what I'm saying? It fights, all types of shit, you know what I'm saying? But I had to learn that, like, I'm growing now, you know what I'm saying? I'm becoming bigger now, you know what I'm saying? I'm growing a fan base now. I can't be doing shit like that. Social media, you can actually get paid off of that. That's how you can make your money. You know what I'm saying? Just being on there and being sociable, like talking to people and not being Hollywood, that shows people, you know what I'm saying, that they could shop with you. You know, they can talk to you whenever they want to. So for them to feel like they can come to you and, hey, can I get a beat, bro? Sure, why not? You never know who the next artist is gonna be.
I just came to win. I just came to win.
Like how I would get up in the morning and post videos. It's like, it's a routine for me now. I have to get up, get my hair done, get my makeup done, get on at a certain time, do certain little stuff to keep people interested. You can't just post pictures, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stay with the new girls that's doing the new hair, the new styles. Like, oh, this is kind of what I've been doing all along, but it's a job now.
That was our first income, big income. We were making like $5,000, $8,000 a month. Just from Instagram and YouTube videos and promos. He had a lot of followers because when he made the reverse, he got like over 600K in like a week and a half, and then $1 million before he graduated. So he was walking around in school with 1 million followers. My dad was tripping, and he was getting a lot of money. So social media is really important.
The first thing that I ever recorded went viral. I kind of just recorded the video, and it hit 1 million views in less than 24 hours. And the next day, I booked like 4 shows off of just this one video going viral. And then like the next week, I see T.I. commenting on my Instagram, and I see Rick Ross liking my videos, and Jermaine Dupri, and like all these people that I grew up like idolizing. So it was, of course, unreal to me. Sometimes I still think I'm like dreaming and I'm gonna wake up one day in my Mazda or something.
I just came to win. Hearing people talk about me, I just came to win.
you know, there's Snapchat, there's Instagram Live, there's Twitter, there's this, and it's like, sometimes it's just like, well, like, you know, you're almost spreading thin, Facebook, you know, spreading thin on all these things versus just like, sometimes like, you do want to disappear and kind of like, let me focus on my craft, you know what I'm saying, and then show you something, but then it's the new age thing of the internet. It's like, you can't do that. You disappear and do that, and then don't nobody gonna remember you.
One of the biggest mistakes I think that some of the young talent make is they're over-accessible. There is like no mystique to a lot of, you know, the young talent today. You just have to give consumers something that they haven't consumed. When consumers feel like they know everything about you already, it's kind of hard to surprise them because a lot of times you're already giving them everything for free that like once you start actually having a product worth selling and worth buying, that it's a lot harder for them to see the value in that.
A lot of artists do stupid shit on social media. Like, I get the part about promoting, you know, look at my new shoes and shit, and, you know, I just got this. I get that shit. I just don't get the part of the dumb shit, like showing all the guns and shit, showing the drugs. You just convicting yourself on social media.
You just kind of got to get in where you fit in, because there's no defeating the internet. There's no defeating Twitter. You can't beat Instagram. You can't outsmart it. Like I said in a post, like if the world was about to end, there would be a meme joking about it. It's just the way the world is going, man. Like, I don't think the person that invented Twitter thought that it was gonna be that powerful, like that Donald Trump could like literally almost start a war off of Twitter, like, you know what I mean? It's getting more and more powerful by the day too, man. It's almost scary, like, where is this shit going?
When you're young, you think you knew you have all the answers. You don't give a shit.
That's why so many old heads are mad.
These kids had no initiation, they had no jump in.
People are caring less about the generation before us, and that's a problem, because you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been.
It's okay corral out here, man. There's no rules, unfortunately. Just no rules. So these social medias popped up. Facebook, you go on Facebook, you see all types of naked stuff going on, and it gets attention. 10 million views. You go on YouTube, you know, videos, girls got their tops off, clapping their butt cheeks together, that got 11 million views. A guy who's spitting them real bars and doing what he gotta do, he got 14 views. And the 15th is his, just to check and see who else is watching. But that's the game. Some play it well, some play it whack. Who are you?
When we were coming up, music was the first thing, it was primary. If you wanted to be in music, you had to sacrifice. I had to save my money, buy some turntables, save my money, buy a drum machine, save my money to get in the studio. In this era, most kids have computers already. You didn't have to save anything. You didn't have to do, you know what I mean? You didn't have to, you have headphones and a computer and you can make a song and just hit send and it's out to the world.
Kids today not respecting the older generation, I feel like it's not nothing new. When you're young, you think you knew you have all the answers. You don't give a shit. Like, you just give a fuck about what you want to give a fuck about. Like, what's hot to you. I know what I got now. And what I got now is hot and it's popping. Like, all that shit, yeah, y'all wasn't using Pro Tools, y'all was using tape. I don't give a fuck about tape. I'm not saying that's the smartest thing, but that's it. I don't think it's a lack of respect. I just think it's just lack of information.
Right now, it's a lot of young cats, you know, trying to take over. It's a lot of, well, they are taking over, not trying. The thing is these young cats, they don't know really the background, and that's why a lot of these old heads are mad, because, you know, they know what they grew up on, and they know what sounds good and what's, you know, real and what feels real. They know that stuff, and then when they hear this stuff, you know, they know that that's not gonna be around next month, or that ain't saying nothing, that's not pushing you to do nothing positive in life. Like, they know that. That's why so many old heads are mad.
I'm not mad at these kids for the records they make. They only know what they know. That's what they heard, that's what they're mimicking. The work ethic on trying to study the culture is not there for them. So Only a few have taken the time to go to the back room and pick up a book and study what came before them and incorporate that into the new like we did. We studied the 80s and the 70s.
And to hear, you know, somebody say that they don't know these legends, like that's where a lot of people get mad too, because you should know those people if you're in this industry.
We had to know who the Cold Crush was. We had to know who Run DMC was. We had to know who Russell Simmons was. We had to know who EPMD was. We had to know who Slick Rick was and Dougie Fresh. We had to know who KRS-One was. You had to. They were pillars. So it was our job to acknowledge that, pay homage to that, in order for us to get initiated into this thing we call hip-hop. These kids had no initiation. They had no jump in. They got in from home, from their basement on the computer. They snuck in. And now they feel like because we snuck in and we're good, you owe us. We didn't initiate you. We didn't say you were good. Not to say we have to, because we don't. Because there really is no rule book to hip hop. But we would have liked to have known that you recognize that the reason why you're here is a lot because of the backs you stood on.
I think that now the respect for our elders in hip hop is diminishing, especially with like teenage rappers. I don't know if it's just because it's such a big disconnect. I don't know if you could have convinced me that Big Daddy Kane was the greatest rapper ever, but I would have never come out and said, screw Big Daddy Kane, he ain't nobody. You know what I mean? Because I know that he's a pioneer. I think it's just getting to be like, these kids are so drugged up now and they don't even really give a shit about anything. You know what I mean? And I think it's easy for them to get out here and just say, Jay-Z's an old nigga, fuck him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if Jay-Z wouldn't have done what he did, you know what I mean? I just think it's taking a big turn, like everything is taking a big turn and people are caring less about the generation before us, and that's a problem. That's a major problem because you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been.
Yep. Mic check, 1, 1, 2. I should be a professional mic checker, like.
Can you understand me? Can I show y'all how much I fucking had?
So the first question is the easy one.
Yeah.
How was that? That was good. You like it? You're smiling. All right, good.